after clearing your C1 level exam and after being an OTAC certified translator, how did that impact your career and earning opportunities?
I have a lot of opportunities as a freelancer. So I can decide what are the exact rates for my services. When you work in a company as in the language department, I don't feel that you get that well paid. But when you are a freelancer, you can decide for yourself. You're basically handling a small business. You're doing it for yourself, right?
Yes. Okay. So as a project manager, how does French help you in handling the international relations and managing the teams you must be working with?
That's right. So, firstly, here, as I told you, that Canada is a land of immigrants. In my team, we do have people from different nationalities. So, since I've already worked, I have had students who are Indian, who are Brazilian, who are. I have already dealt with like a lot of communities, right? So this actually helps me a lot to deal with my team as well. Plus, when we learn a new language, we just don't learn the language, but we learn a new culture as well. So we get to know, we get to understand that there is a life outside our zone as well. So that helps a lot to be patient with others, to understand others, and to be active listeners.
Right.
So yeah, I think this is the main thing. Say.
Understood. Moving ahead to the next section of this podcast, that is going to be mainly focused on earning potential in the career. After being certified as a C1 level, after clearing your C1 level exam and after being an OTAC certified translator, how did that impact your career and earning opportunities?
Being a certified translator now, I feel that I have, and of course, a French trainer, I feel I have a lot of opportunities as a freelancer. So I can decide what are the exact rates for my services. When you work in a company as in the language department, I don't feel that you get that well paid. But when you are a freelancer, you can decide for yourself. You're basically handling a small business. You're doing it for yourself, right?
Yes.
So good currently. And apart from that, I feel I personally, I'll be very frank, but I feel that with language, you should have some other expertise also. That's important. That's my learning.
Yes, that's your take on it.
Right? If
Absolutely.
yeah, exactly. So if you of course, if you just want to do it for your passion, for your satisfaction, it's fine. I was also doing it, but then after some point of time, you need money as well, right? So if you
Yes.
want to get paid well, then you need to have something extra than others, and that's why I chose to mix the domains, the management and the language, right?
Got it. And
No
as a
worries.
project manager, how did this language help you in, taking over the edge over others and, getting a like a good, well-paid job?
So, as I told you earlier, we Indians, we are just not bilingual. It's much more than that, right?
Yes.
So here in my team, firstly, there are not many Indians who are working in my domain, right?
Okay.
Especially not here in Quebec. In France, maybe, but not here, I would say. So, of course, the very first thing is that I know more languages, right? So, and also we have a lot of Indian clientele. To understand the customer, to understand our client, if you are also Indian, that's nothing is better than that, right?
Yes.
Again, something weird yet interesting happened with me here. When I was studying at Concordia, I never thought that my mother tongue Hindi will help me here in Canada, but it did help me. So one of my professors was working on a project, translating a book. I won't tell a lot about it, but basically that book was translated in Hindi as well. So he wanted to compare the English, Hindi, and French version, and there was no other person but me who could do that for him.
Yeah.
So I got paid for that in my university, and I got credits for my course as well. Got back those that payment that I did for that particular course, basically. So I
Okay.
got it for free, and I got credits as well. And there was, of course, and now my name is also in the project. So Hindi helped me. So just don't think, I mean, everything will help you in your life. And
Yes.
sometimes people say that they are learning something, but maybe it's just, it won't help, but it will. Certainly it will sometime.
That's so amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so now I'm also now pumped up, after listening to your experience. And
That's good.
because I was actually planning a lot of things, because I mean, I'm into training right now, but I am planning
Mm-hmm.
to do more because I'm having a technical background as well. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, right after clearing my Delft C1, I am
Mm-hmm.
gonna do first of all my DUFLA program. I'm gonna enroll myself
That's
for
good.
that. And then secondly, that these are the two things that are fixed,
Mm-hmm.
Delph and DuFlow. After that, I'm gonna explore more what else I
Mm-hmm.
can, how I can mix up my technical skills and the language
That's
skills.
right. It's always good to mix up things because you definitely get an edge over other.
Correct.
Definitely.
Correct. Correct. And as you mentioned that, a person should be having I mean, along with French to get a well-paid career, to have a well-paid career, along with French,
Mm-hmm.
as per your experience so far,
Mm-hmm.
what are some of the skills a person can master along with the language to maybe gain a, you know, edge over others, or maybe can be some of the most paying, most
Mm-hmm.
rewarding, I would say. I would not use the word
Mm-hmm.
earning, most paying. I would say most rewarding career opportunities. So along with, as you mentioned, that a person should have another skill along with the
Mm-hmm.
language to gain
Mm-hmm.
a to get a get more rewarding career, or maybe to be to I would say to increase the earning potential. So
Mm-hmm.
what are some of the skills a person can master?
Mm-hmm. Uh, we know that AI is at heart of every business now.
Yes.
So we should definitely go ahead and learn some skills there.
Hmm.
Apart from that, I feel that that depends from person to person. Me, I felt I did my bachelor's in business administration. Plus, I one day when I was in here in Canada only, I sat and I wrote about what I like and what I don't like on a paper, right?
Mhm.
And one day when I was in here in Canada only, I sat and I wrote about what I like and what I don't like on a paper, right?
Mhm.
And that helped me a lot to understand that I just like I said that I like multitasking. I don't like getting free time, right? I always need something going on.
Yeah.
So that's how I thought that management is the thing, right? That I can combine with my language. So if
Yes.
it there are n number of fields, I would say you really need to sit with yourself and see what you
Hmm.
like, and
Yes.
just add it with it. How you will get your answers when you sit with with you yourself and just think about it. It takes time, but you'll get your answer, and it's different
Hmm.
for every person, I feel. So I wouldn't say the only one thing will give you money. I would say every field is lucrative, but you need to
Yes.
find your way out.
Got it. Now, we're moving ahead with the last section of this podcast
Mm-hmm.
now, and that
Mm-hmm.
is going to be how can somebody make a career
Mm-hmm.
in translation, because you're already a translator, that is a certified translator. So,
Mhm.
what advice you would give to somebody who wants to be a translator in the language?
Sure. So the very first thing is translator is not just translating from one language to other, but we also need to understand the context. That can be a cultural context as well, right? You can see a very good example of good translation is the website, a website of IKEA. Um, it is spread all over the globe, and
Mm,
every website is different. Every country's website is very different, right? So the examples they have given, the options that they have given, uh, those are different. The expressions that they have used, because sometimes the expressions that we use in India are not very well taken in other countries. So we
mm,
really need to change it. So it's not just that we are translating it, we are understanding the context that can be cultural as well. And so you need to understand a culture, you need to dive into it, dive into the community, into the society.
mhm.
And that's when you'll be able to translate
Yeah.
a text, right? Because it's not always official. It is not always an official document where there is just it's just given name, place of birth, etc.,
Yeah.
etc.
Yeah.
It's sometimes it's also, for example, you are again you are just translating a website, right? So
Mm,
there if they have given you something, you really need to think what this is. The thing that they have given you would attract the market there, but in
mm,
another country, what would attract the market?
yes.
So you need to do the research. Research is the core, I
Mm,
believe. Yeah.
understood. Understood. And how
Mhm.
can somebody prepare for that, for the same? Like, I am sure like having a good command in the language is definitely like I mean it's actually the core part of it. But
Mhm.
I think every field takes its own effort. We have to put effort for each and every single specific, field. So for translation, according to you, how a person can prepare to be good in that field?
Uh, every time you get a new text, right? Every time it's about a different topic. So you need to prepare yourself to deal with various topics. So for
Hmm.
this, what I normally do is, for example, I get a marketing related topic,
Hmm.
text, and it's on a certain topic. So I go on internet, I do some research on it, I read some articles related to that topic so that I
Hmm.
can gain the vocabulary, right? The
Hmm.
appropriate vocabulary. And
Yes.
our when we read so much about something, our mind itself starts thinking in the same way, and we automatically get the same vocabulary, and sometimes
Hmm.
we just get our answers very quickly. So
Right.
this is the very first step. Read a lot. Like reading is the key. If you know that you are going to be translating for Canadian government, for example, so this is very important to go through their websites to read the text which is already published,
Hmm.
because that's already revised.
Right.
So it's very important to do that before you start with your work, right? And
Understood.
after translating, the very first translation is never the final translation. That's just a draft. You
Hmm.
really need to go through it again. And sometimes when you are translating, for example, from French to English, it's helpful if you go the other way around as well,
Hmm.
right? When you are revising, go the other way around, see if it is still making sense or not.
Understood.
And
Understood.
also while revising, you can think yourself as the reader.
Hmm.
If you don't know anything about it, will you be able to understand? Will you be able to get the idea?
Wonderful. And if somebody wants to follow your path in translation, training part, and maybe some other, like in your case, it's project management, but in somebody else's case, it can be something else. Any final advice you want to give to anyone?
As a teacher, as a translator, I would just say read more, but in your domain, right? So if I
Hmm.
chose the management field, I went ahead, did some research, found out some books related to it, but in French, because that's my interest. But I'm also learning some new vocabulary, right? I'm
Hmm.
also enriching my language skills. I'm getting better at it. So just do the two things simultaneously and see if it is working for you or not. And always, I always keep a plan B with me.
Got it.
Just always think, what if this, I mean, of course it's good to be optimistic, it's the ideal situation,
Yes.
but in the real world, what if this doesn't happen? Then you
Hmm.
should be ready.
I learned this lesson in grade 12th when I did not
Yeah.
clear my IIT.
Oh God.
But anyway, yeah, I do regret that I did not take any other exam apart from that. I was like so overconfident that
Mhm.
yes, I'm gonna clear that. And at the end, when the results came out, I was not having neither IIT, neither anything else. I was out of options at that time. And
Mhm.
like nobody else can say anything to me because my own decision and my parents supported my decision. So yeah, but yeah, now I really 100% agree with you that we should have a plan B. Absolutely, in all
Mhm.
cases.
Because at some point of time, we really need to become independent.
Hmm.
We don't have parents with us
Very
every time,
true.
right?
Very true. Fine. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Harshita, for your time. This was a long podcast and it was a great discussion. There were a lot of
Same here.
insights and a lot of emotions involved in the conversation. And I'm sure
Mhm.
people will be happy and motivated, excited, and inspired to hear your journey.